Following God doesn't always mean that things are going to be great. In fact, situations will be purposely thrown our way because you're a follower of God. But there's nothing that God will throw your way that you can't handle with his help. You've probably heard of the story or a reference to David and Goliath. And if you don't know the story, I encourage you to look it up. But God purposely put David in the Israelite camp because of David's faith. David was the youngest of his brothers, and he was a shepherd. And when none of the warriors would stand up and fight Goliath, he volunteered to do it himself. But even though he was young and inexperienced and facing someone a lot taller and more muscular than himself, David was still able to defeat his foe. But things didn't exactly get better. Sure, they got better for a little while, and he was successful in his work. He had been promoted to the king's bodyguard. He had just married a beautiful wife who just so happened to be the king's daughter. Everything seemed pretty okay, but that was until the king started to get jealous of David's popularity and attempted to murder him several times. David was chased for years, and God had always given David a place to hide. But whenever David and the king were in the same location, God would purposely always give David the upper hand because he knew that David was going to spare the king's life. David could have easily killed the king, but instead, he chose not to. There was a lot of stuff that was thrown at David throughout his lifetime, but he had great faith. And even when there were armies against him, God was with David and allowed David to win. And God didn't throw David into a situation that he couldn't handle if they all worked together. And this applies to us as well. Things aren't always going to be sunshine and rainbows, and actually I can guarantee that they won't be. But our lives aren't just about us. We were meant to establish a relationship with God, and we were meant to connect with God so that we can not quaver or not hesitate when challenges are thrown our way. This is your Finding Wholesomeness Scoop. I'll see you guys next time.